Law enforcement and other first responders deal with cases like that all too often, and it can take an emotional toll on families.
Nationally, more first responders lost their lives to suicide than in the line of duty. Now, let that sink in.
Absolutely.
Mississippi is bringing together professionals from a range of backgrounds to help those who serve on the front lines every day deal with the trauma they face daily. A team of medical professionals, first responders, and Mississippi lawmakers came together to see how they can work together more effectively to help save the Service Member Task Force.
First responders can see things in one day the average citizen may never see in a lifetime.
These tragic events have lasting effects on first responders. They also take a toll on their families.
First interest or at the end of the day, that's your first line of protection as a first responder is your family. And we have to have things in place for them. We have to provide training for them as well.
What we need to do is get out of the 1980s, start recognizing the modern science behind long-term exposure to trauma.
While helping us in a time of crisis, they're dealing with a crisis of their own, losing more first responders to suicide than in the line of duty, according to multiple sources. But what would happen if you took first responders out of the picture for one day?
No law enforcement, no EMTs, no firefighters. Take them completely out of the picture. What would you have? Total chaos.
And that's why they say they need the support of the public. Mississippi Highway Patrol Major Johnny Polis says first responders get a lot of training, but where they failed, he says, is never training them how to handle and process the traumatic events they will see almost daily through their careers. Polis is the chairman of the Mississippi First Responder PTSD and Suicide Prevention Task Force, which was created by the Mississippi Legislature earlier this year.
When you lose more first responders to suicide nationally every year than by in the line of duty deaths, something's wrong. In the past, there's been this suck it up mentality. That is no more. We cannot, that is not working for us.
Starkville Police Chief Mark Ballard, who is also representing the Mississippi Chiefs of Police Association, says this force was driven after a series of tragic events in the Gulf Coast community, but they recognized a need statewide. The purpose is to take a closer look at professions that are impacted by trauma, which includes all first responders, and identify needs, gaps in training and resources, tear down barriers, and develop a successful and strategic plan that includes proposed legislation.
Training is going to be very important going forward to where we change that mindset to where physical fitness is important. We know that. But mental fitness in this profession is just as important or more important.
Not only through our basic academy, through some of these organizations, we need to make it part of the certification processes. We need to take it at the executive level of all these professions and listen very carefully again to the mental health experts that are out there.
In the past, there's been a stigma when it comes to discussing mental health in these fields.
That mental fitness is a word that we're going to start using intentionally within our department, and hopefully within other organizations that helps change the culture and embrace, understanding how to know yourself, your emotional intelligence of where you are, and how to properly address it.
First responders are human. We just receive training to go out and to protect and to serve.
Polis says they will also be relying on shared experiences.
It's important to have a peer support group within your agency. For example, if you have a firefighter that's been subjected to a critical incident, there might be a fellow firefighter that has experienced that same type of trauma that they can talk together. It just goes a long ways to know, and you've got somebody that you can count on that is in the same profession.
And what about volunteer, auxiliary, and reserve officers?
I think when you talk about the state of Mississippi, we're so reliant upon volunteers and auxiliary. It's part of our culture and first responders. I think you have to, and that's the purpose of the task force, to address these complicated issues. They're not black and white, to put in the research, put in the time, and make recommendations on that.
And another huge goal?
Normalize these type of conversations that have been uncomfortable in the past. It has to happen for retention, recruitment, and for first responders to go out and again to serve the public and to have a normal, happy life as well.
They say public support is important to the program's success.
Every night you watch the news, your viewers watch it. It's going to be a tragedy. It's going to be a death, a missing person, death of a child, a vicious car wreck. These are impacting lives. We need the public to know this is very real, and it's impacting those men and women that choose this profession, and it's impacting them long term. So if the public supports it, I think we can go a long way in addressing it.
And knowing that they support first responders, it makes first responders want to go out and do their job even more.
Telling your story, Grace Brister, WCBI News. The task force's report is due before January 1st, 2026, and is expected to lead to additional legislation focused on mental health resources for first responders and their families. Ballard says they hope to move forward with simple, solid, successful steps to continue the ongoing process.